Mizzou Tigers squad, led by Eli Drinkwitz in his 4th year. Florida won the toss. They elected to defer. So that means we bring out the quarterback for Mizzou, Jesse, who's a St. Louis kid who grew up a Mizzou fan. Look at these shots of Brady Cook, and now here he is living the dream he always dreamed of, to be the starting quarterback of the Missouri Tigers.
He's a guy that's really had to overcome a lot early in his career here at Missouri, but very quietly this year, Joe, having one of the best years of any quarterback in the entire country, and you know he's licking his chops tonight, facing a Florida defense that's playing a lot of freshmen.
Play action, Cook, pretty good athlete as well as he dives ahead to the 30-yard line, tackled by Mitchell.
He's really done a nice job picking up Kirby Moore's new offense this season. I've been impressed with his decision-making, with his accuracy, and you're seeing him run a little bit more. You mentioned how good of an athlete he is, Joe. They do a good job dialing up some designed runs, but they also give him the option, like on that last play, to take off if it's not there.
Schrader, his first work of the evening, as he gets off of right tackle. He'll be 3rd and about a long one. Some critical injuries affecting this game. The Florida defense are starting young, sensational corner Devin Moore. And Scooby Williams, we've been told to be limited. He was dealing with the flu most of the week. 3rd and 3. Schrader straight ahead for a first down. Katie?
Yeah, it says Scooby Williams, he missed both live practices on Tuesday and Wednesday of this week, so he's going to be limited tonight. Defensive coordinator Austin Armstrong says because their calls are so complex and specific to the opponent, it's hard to miss practice then plug and play on Saturday, so his usage is something to watch as we move forward tonight.
There he is, number 17.
Keep in mind, too, Katie, Shamar James, another starting linebacker. He's out for the rest of the season with kneecap surgery, so big holes to fill.
This is Nate Pete, and look at Pete go all the way past midfield.
Well, they're pulling a lineman, the left guard. They're also bringing their tight end around to get extra players at the point of attack, and Pete just sees the crease, puts his foot in the ground, and gets north. No doubt, Joe, this is an offense that wants to run the ball early, and they're going to test the physicality of this Gator defense.
Pete goes for 16 yards. Schrader, one cut and straight ahead. He puts that foot in the ground and a burst upfield for another Tigers first down, 15-yard run.
He is a no-nonsense one-cut runner. When he sees the crease in this zone play, he puts his foot in the ground and he gets north, and that's what he's doing. He's not trying to run around you. He's trying to run through you. I call this guy the Punisher. He's one of the few running backs you'll see game in, game out. It looks like he's doling out the punishment more often than he's receiving.
Schrader. He spins free for an extra 5 yards.
.100 rushing yards now in 3 straight games. And again, this is going to be a challenge for this Gator defense. They have to buckle up early. They know this running attack downhill is coming.
2nd and 3. Schrader met at the line of scrimmage that time as Mitchell was able to fill that hole.
It's so important for the Gators defense, too, that they're able to start fast in this game. You know, in 8 games against Power 5 opponents, they've allowed points on the opening drive 7 different times. Austin Armstrong right there, the defensive coordinator, he would love his defense to get a stop here and try and gain some momentum early in this game.
Defense that has allowed 173 points in their last 4 games. 3rd and 3. Cook, and he will get the first down. Northfleet goes up and over. Brett Northfleet, the true freshman tight end at 6'7", leaping the defender, Miguel Mitchell.
Well, they're going to fake the handoff right here, and that's going to freeze 2 linebackers to allow the tight end, Northfleet, to go underneath. Really impressed with this true freshman tight end, too. 6'7", very athletic.
1st and goal. He was looking for Luther Burden III.
And he might be one of the best athletes on the field, Joe, because not only is he starting tight end for Missouri as a true freshman, he plays on the baseball team, too. When you're making a business decision, obviously, as a DB, you're right there, you're Miguel Mitchell trying to tackle that big tight end. He just leaps up over top of him.
Design quarterback run as Cook gets it to the 5-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal. Searcy was there meeting him.
It's such a threat defensively. Not only are you worried about Brady Cook's arm in these situations, but they love running him down here in the red zone too. So Billy Napier and this coaching staff, they've been preaching their defense down here. You can't lose sight of the football, and you can't lose contain of this quarterback, because if things aren't open, he'll take off.
Schrader in the slot out of the backfield on 3rd and goal. Condensed formation. Cook with time, looking for an option. And now backing up all the way to the 22, where he just throws it away. Good coverage by the Gators defense on 3rd and goal. Collins was applying pressure.
That's a fantastic job too, because there's 2 true freshmen back there playing safety, and they're roaming around in the open field. Nice job of just staying home, not letting Cook get to the outside and take off running, forcing him to throw that football away. That's a small win for the Gators defense early in this game, forcing a field goal.
Now the senior Harrison Mevis, who's Mizzou's all-time leading scorer, on for the short field goal attempt. And that is how Mizzou caps their 12-play drive.
Looks like he's ready to run through the tackles right there. Yeah, you know, it is a special moment for all these players, Joe. I remember, you know, for me, it was one of those deals where you're just thinking about the highs and lows in your career as you're taking the field, and people that support you through it all are the ones that are out there waiting for you.
Jason Marshall on the return for Florida, pushed out near the 20. There is Cody Schrader, who's coming off that sensational effort, leads the SEC in rushing with over 1,100 rushing yards, at 29 on that opening drive that was capped by a field goal. And now Graham Mertz, who leads the SEC in completion percentage, top 5 nationally, out with the Gators offense to open things up. Montrell Johnson will start in the backfield with him at running back. Mertz, quick to the outside, able to get it complete to Jackson, who was wrestled down after a gain of 7.5.
Well, the accuracy for Mertz all year, Joe, has just been simply off the charts. You watch him, the ball doesn't hit the ground. It's been remarkable. He's made very good decisions. He plays on time. He's going to have to do that tonight against an outstanding pass rush from Missouri. And he's got some guys up front on the offensive line a bit banged up right now.
Second and 3. Mertz gets the protection and gets his man Ricky Pearsall. And here goes Ricky. Cuts back against the grain. Big jump play down near the 10-yard line as Rakestraw finally chased him down.
Linus Rakestraw was in coverage on Ricky Pearsall, and he just fell down. I don't think he would have broken the play up anyway because it was an accurate throw. You see him go down right there. And then it's everything after the catch for Pearsall. He's such a good route runner, working the middle of the field, able to create separation, and a huge explosive play early. How about Graham Mertz taking a little shot?
61 yards, 47 of them after the catch by Ricky Pearsall. To the outside to Wilson, and the freshman is wrapped up at the line of scrimmage by J.C. Carlisle. The injuries for Florida, we told you defensively, but also offensively. Big changes to that offensive line. Left tackle Austin Barber's out. Damian George moves over from right tackle.
Now you got your backup right tackle, or your backup left tackle playing right tackle. You're flipping guys over. You've got some injury problems at center right now as well. Some new faces and some new positions, and they're going to have to be really good communicating here on the road.
Cameron Waits is now the starting right tackle with that flip by George. Johnson straight ahead as he gets to the 8-yard line.
It's a nice answer early, though, for this Gator offense, right? You're playing on the road where they've struggled. Remember, the Gators are 2-15 the last 17 times out away from the swamp. So to come in here with this crowd noise and get something good going early, for Billy Napier, that's huge. But they were able to score a touchdown here. Be able to convert this 3rd down, it would be absolutely massive for their confidence.
3rd down and 6. Mertz to the end zone. Touchdown, Trey Wilson.
Touchdown, Gators.
Boy, when you have road struggles that you cited, 2 and 15 in their last 17 away from the swamp, starts like that matter.
Well, they had Trey Wilson in the slot right here. He's going to work a double move in the middle. He's going to look like he's going slant. Chuck Hicks, the linebacker, is going to bite on it, and that opens up the window in behind. Nice throw out in front by Mertz, and the Gators score a massive touchdown here early. Try and see some of this momentum.
The big play came from Ricky Pearsall. The 61-yard reception that sparked things on the opening drive, where Graham Mertz was a perfect 4 for 4. We told you, leads the SEC in completion percentage. And he found young Trey Wilson. And the Gators, the upset-seeking Gators, up 7-3 early. Billy Napier had to change things up this week, and they're getting ready to land Sunday morning from LSU. Too much Fox, so they had to go to Orlando on bus. Everybody was just dead tired. He said, take the day off, guys. Here's Johnson on the return. Marquise Johnson, as he finds a seam out past the 30, and we find an update from Matt Berry. Listen, we know the kid, and we've covered his story for a while, which has been remarkable and one of overcoming adversity and sticking through it, and then to have the season he's having, and to just see that video, my stomach just turns. I feel so badly for him, Jesse. Here's Cook being chased on first down, and then goes ahead and scoots out of bounds. That is tough to watch on every level.
To your point, Joe, not just one of the best players in the country, but also a great kid too. And you just think about him, his family, and you certainly hope for the best. And, you know, if Florida State's able to hold on tonight, you hope that the committee will rank them accordingly Tuesday based on what they've accomplished to this point, not what it means moving forward. But you can't be thinking about ACC championship or the playoff right now. You got your hands full, down 10 points right now to a 3-7 North Alabama team.
And this Florida Gators, of course, will have their rivalry game next week against that Knowles squad. A good job against Cody Schrader as Jaden Hill tripped him up. Yeah, so now a third down opportunity.
This is a defense that loves to bring pressure, and Jaden Hill in the slot is a guy that has to have a big game. Last year had 2 picks against Missouri, took one of those 49 yards to the house. Of course, he's also going to be out there covering Luther Burden, the best receiver from Missouri in the slot as well. He's got a big job. They're lined up right now together on this critical third down.
And that was Hill's second game back from an ACL when he had the 2 interceptions against Mizzou. 3rd down and 8. Cook, they pick up the pressure. Cook, incomplete, as he was trying to connect with Mekhi Miller. And Miguel Mitchell had coverage there. An excellent job by the Florida defense.
Really nice job in coverage, Joe. And this is a defense that has had their struggles in the back end. That's well documented. Teams have taken a lot of shots deep down the field. But early in this game, you're right, coverage pretty good. It's a nice job in Mitchell there, being in zone coverage, keeping his eye on the quarterback, seeing the ball thrown, and playing clean. So forcing now this punt opportunity.
Riley Williams on to punt. Ricky Pearsall, the return man, with his heels on the 20. And scatters away from Pearsall inside the 20. And that is where we will see Graham Mertz start ABC against Georgia Tech. Mertz, play action, and he's being chased by one of the very best defensive linemen in the league, Darius Robinson.
Well, Florida had success, Joe, in that first drive throwing the ball. I want you to notice the protection here. Remember, this is some new faces playing different positions up front. Gave him a nice pocket on that throw to Pearsall, and then allowed him to work through his progression to get to his 3rd read, Trey Wilson at the back of the end zone. About this Missouri front. They're violent. They've got 28 sacks on the year. They're trying to pin their ears back, but on that first drive, Florida's offensive line looked pretty good.
With a right tackle that steps up from backup position and a left tackle who was the right tackle. And now off to the side, he goes back to Trey Wilson, who immediately is surrounded by KAD.
Now this is where you got to be careful against Missouri defensively. Third down, they've got a lot of different exotic looks. They sub a bunch of DBs on the field. They put them in the box, and as an offensive line, you really don't know who's coming. They've got a lot of athleticism and a lot of speed, and they've been able to confuse offenses week in, week out on third down.
Little confusion there. You saw Marcus Burke right in front of our near side camera.
Full start. Offense, number 88. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
We had a great angle of it as Burke was the wideout to that near side, and you saw him just give that stutter and then look back confused to Mertz before he motioned in, and thus the penalty. So now it's a 3rd and 13. Third and 13, 4-man pressure, and another flag reigns in. I don't know if zeros hit the clock there.
I think it did.
Delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
And last play, there were a lot of offensive linemen looking back at Graham Mertz to find out what the call was, what the protection was. They've got to go faster. And this thing just a minute ago, it was 3rd and 8. It's a whole lot different than 3rd and 18. Not a lot of play calls to convert this.
See if they stay conservative here inside their own 10-yard line. Mertz looks to ETN, then pumps, and now he's going to tuck and run and just makes it out near the 14-yard line as Carwise was waiting. So both teams scored on their opening drives. Florida impressively. And then each offense goes back out there, and it's a 3-and-out on the next drives. Crawshaw will be punting from his own 1-yard line. Luther Burden III will give Mizzou an excellent chance at good field position. It's a big boot by Crawshaw, and it's outside the numbers all the way at the 25-yard line.
You agree with that, Joe?
Well, why not, Jesse?
Yep. Eye the beholder.
Personality goes far. Here's Burden on the tap pass. Burden gets the corner, and Burden scoots out after a gain of about 7 yards.
Well, that's his first touch. He's easily one of the best receivers in all of college football. They've got to get him going early in this game. You're going to see him line up all over the field, at slot, at receiver. They'll put him in the backfield to get him as many matchups and as many touches as possible, because these guys are difference maker.
Schrader cuts back, and Schrader lowers the shoulder. It's another chain move for a first down for Mizzou.
Pistol zone over and over. That is the bread and butter play in this Missouri offense right here. Just working this way. And you're going to see linemen, they get into the second level of this defense. They're so good at working the double teams and then climbing, creating creases and cutback opportunities. And they're just going to keep running this. They'll go inside zone, outside zone to both sides.
Schrader trying to wiggle his way ahead and does so for 2 yards. Mitchell with the tackle.
You know, it's interesting, Joe, that this offensive line for Missouri, they're an interesting combination of being physical, but they're also really athletic. Like, they can push you around up front, but they've got guys that can move and run, and so you'll see them get angles, cut off linebackers, they seal the edge. Big reason why this zone scheme in the running game has been so successful for them.
And give credit to their offensive line coach, Brandon Jones. We'll talk more about that in a second, but unique circumstances with Coach Jones. 3rd down, 2nd down, and 9 as he motions Burden back in. Play action with time. Cook wants a shot downfield. Receiver went down, so it's incomplete. But Brandon Jones, the offensive line coach, he came in at the end of spring practice.
Yeah. Marcus Johnson was their O-line coach, and right around the spring game, left for Purdue. So in comes Jones. He doesn't even have a full offseason to work with this unit. He's been phenomenal with what they've been able to do, cohesiveness and chemistry. Really impressed watching this unit up front. Big reason for their success this year as a football team.
3rd and 9. See if they can protect Brady Cook. Give him a chance of the conversion here. Gators back off. Cook. There was nothing downfield for him to look at.
Joe,
Jalen Kimber came in after him.
That was interesting too, because that's a delayed corner blitz from Kimber. I don't know if he was lined up where he needed to be to start, but he had a lot of depth. They're bringing him all the way over here from the field. Ball gets snapped. It's almost like he wasn't ready for it yet, and then kind of came in delayed. Nobody was open right away. It worked out to his advantage. He was able to force the throwaway.
Riley Williams on to punt again. Usually see Luke Bauer in that spot for Mizzou. Nice bounce back early on for this Florida defense after the struggles last week. And this takes a big bounce for the Tigers. Inside the 15, settling in around the 11. Transfer from Wisconsin, one of the best transfer quarterbacks in college football. Another flag comes in pre-snap.
Full start. Offense, number 76. After this to the goal. First down.
That's Damian George, who was playing right tackle. The Alabama transfer is now playing left tackle. False starts have been a problem for him this season. And again, when you're on the road in this kind of environment, Billy Napier knows. You see the sounds get loud. This crowd's going to respond. They haven't been doing a great job early.
Starting field position's been rough for Florida. ETN only able to get 2 yards as Sidney Williams made the tackle. Florida started at the 20, the 16, and the 11-yard line.
It's going to be hard running against this Missouri front because they are violent. They've got guys that just bully people. They're not particularly deep. They play about 8 guys across, but all of them can get it done. They're a top 20 run defense in the country. 2nd and 13 as he goes to the tight end Hansen. And Hansen able to get it to the 12-yard line. And it'll be 3rd down from there after just a 4-yard reception. Missouri defense without Tyron Hopper, who's the leading tackler. A 3rd and 9. 3-man pressure against Mertz, and they're able to get to him for a moment, then downfield. Trying to close in on the ball was Ricky Pearsall, but he was out of bounds. You got your backup right tackle, Cameron Waits. He's outside, and he gets beaten by Johnny Walker here one-on-one. There's going to be a fake to the outside. He's going to bust back into the middle, and that forces Graham Mertz off his mark. Changes the rhythm of the throw. Just not enough room. Missouri's defense comes up big again.
There's been a lot of college kids who have been beaten down by Johnny Walker.
Yeah, in more ways than one, on and off the field.
Crawshaw's 2nd punt, again from the end zone. As it bounces at midfield, and it'll settle in at the 49-yard line. Ferrari had a rough week with the practice there.
That's a tough life for him. Driving for Ferrari. Oof. How does he do it?
Schrader goes ahead past midfield. Yeah, that was quite the look the other day when his entourage rolled into the top ranked.
Start ripping off names for people at home to understand who was sitting behind you at that point.
Michael B. Jordan, the actor,
okay,
was there.
Yeah, Rocky.
Floyd Mayweather
Apollo Creed, yeah.
was there. You know, everybody on the pound for pound list, and then you look over and you see all the F1 drivers. It was the scene for boxing in Vegas. 2nd and 7 as Cook looks over. End of the first quarter as he lets the clock go down.
Coach Napier, you said starting fast and staying on schedule would be crucial here on the road. How would you assess your team's play through one?
Well, we forced a field goal in the first possession. That was huge. We talked about forcing field goals in the red area. And, you know, we got off the field twice already on defense, so a lot of positive there. A couple procedure issues. We need to clean that up. You know, quarter in, 7-3, got work to do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
During Billy Napier's time at Florida, 2-6 in true road games, 2-9 overall. And 2nd and 8 complete for a first down as he's able to go to Mookie Cooper.
You heard Billy Napier talking to Katie about, you know, the encouraging signs so far from this defense. Remember, after 4 games, this was statistically a top 10 defense.
Yes, that's right.
But their last 4 games now, they've allowed at least 39 points in each game. First time it's ever happened in school history. They've had massive struggles.
Schrader catches a seam. Cody Schrader is gone. Touchdown, Mizzou. And the sensational season for Schrader continues. When he hits the hole, he is full-on committed and gone. 41-yard touchdown for the guy who made history a week ago and already is now at 78 yards rushing.
Well, it was a nice job by the left tackle and left guard, Delgado and Foster, working a little game here, inside and outside, creating a crease, but they've got bodies in the back end, with their eyes in the wrong place, and they're not feeling where they need to. That leads to the explosive play. And we talked about a lot of the struggles this defense has had, Joe, in recent weeks, and part of that is playing a lot of freshmen, and part of that is injuries as well, but missing tackles, not containing the quarterback, corners getting beat one-on-one, and just not being aligned properly or having your eyes in the right place, like on that play there. That's why they've given up so many explosive plays now in recent weeks.
Now those famous Golden Girls have plenty to cheer about, and what a great job by the left guard, Xavier Delgado, big number 72, who's been the quiet, steady leader of this offensive line. Hasn't had a penalty in 2 years, 39 games started there, and he just sealed that thing. And Schrader burst past him, and Mizzou takes the lead. Mizzou.
Marks too for Kansas going into that one. Jason Bean, they weren't sure if he was going to play, so it's Cole Ballard going so far, and they've got a good one in the Sunflower Showdown.
Boy, this is their best starting field position because of a touchback. As Montrell Johnson with a nice run out just beyond the 30-yard line.
Really important the Gators are able to run the football to set up play action. That's true for every offense, Joe, but in particularly the Gators, because they don't have a lot of receivers that are burners, guys that can just run by you, run go routes, run posts, you throw it over their head. They've got to set up their shots with double moves, and to do that, you got to slow down the pass rush, you got to freeze the safeties. You only do that if you run the ball.
Here's Mertz off play action, steps up in the pocket and runs it himself and slides for a first down.
Well, and really nice job understanding when the play was over and there was some pressure coming from his right-hand side. It was Johnny Walker again, forcing him to step up, and he just said enough. He just put his foot in the ground. He's like, I'm getting north. I'm getting what I can get. Move the chains. Looking good.
Johnson, as he finds just enough out to the 40-yard line. Josh Landry with the tackle, part of that rotation in the interior. Johnson, 2nd and 5. It'll be 3rd and a long one. As Newsom made the tackle. He was very big last week against Tennessee with 8 tackles and a tackle for loss.
Johnson and Etienne are a really good 1-2 punch. One of the better 1-2 punches in the SEC. They both do a lot of things similarly well. They've got vision, they can cut, make people miss.
3rd and 1. And again, whistles before the snap. I heard Billy Napier talk about wanting to clean things up. You see his frustration.
The center judge was not in position during the substitution process. 3rd down.
Wow, there was a Missouri D lineman that was late running off the field, and it looks like the Gators were going to snap that and get too many men on the field, take advantage. I think that's why Billy Napier's upset.
And center judge is Brian Davis on this SEC crew that's led by Scott Walker. So administratively, they have to stop things. And now a substitution for Florida with that opportunity. Johnson remains the featured back here on 3rd and 1 as he motions out to an empty look for Graham Mertz on 3rd and 1. Straight ahead. And now this is just bogging down the game. Looks like there was some movement.
False start. Offense. Number 67. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
They're going to tag Richie Leonard, the left guard there.
Yeah, just a little tiny flinch right before the snap. They go to an empty set. They're trying to creep up. I mean, it's minuscule, but it is a little bit early. The Gators go from what looked like they were going to have an automatic 1st down because of a substitution penalty. Billy Napier can't believe it. Now all of a sudden it's 3rd and 6. Now you got to deal with this pass rush.
It's the 4th penalty on Florida. Mizzou doesn't have one tonight so far. 3rd and 6 changes things. And now a timeout is going to be used as that play clock was counting down. Billy Napier called it. We're going to take a short break. The Gators facing a 3rd and 6 when we return. 10-7, number 9 Mizzou.
He's had some problems with Johnny Walker off the edge. This time he's got Darius Robinson lined up on him.
3rd and 6, they go to Wilson. Blockers in front for Wilson, who's able to get that line to gain. The freshman who had a touchdown reception earlier.
Well, he's their most dynamic wide receiver, and he's their most explosive as well. And they're pretty good about getting creative to find ways to get him the football. So you use his speed to get to the perimeter, get to the outside. They did a nice job sealing the edge. Hayden Hansen at tight end got a great block. And this drive stays alive.
Johnson on 1st down. And he's out just short of midfield. But Trey Wilson, really, Jesse, is one of the best freshmen in all of college football. Leads all true freshmen in receptions coming into this game.
Yeah, and he's the future of this Gators passing attack, no question. The things he can do down the field, he's a matchup problem. You think back to the Georgia game in that first drive when they featured him. The defending national champions, they didn't have any answer for him, and he's a guy that has to make his presence felt in this game. He's really coming on, too. Last 3 games, 4 TD catches, already has one in this one.
Mertz, quick drop, and that ball's nearly intercepted. It was hanging in the air as he was looking for Trey Wilson. And saw trying to make a play on it was Chuck Hicks.
Yeah, that ball had to come out just a hair sooner for Graham Mertz. He's trying to fit the slant into Wilson in the slot. He's just a hair late, throwing it a bit behind. Tips lead to picks. When you throw it over the middle of the field, Gators lucky. Chuck Hicks didn't come up with that one.
Third and 8, they drop 8 into coverage. Etienne wrapped up immediately. Excellent work by Chris Abrams-Drain, one of the best corners in the SEC.
Well, that time, Damian George at left tackle, he had to try to get out there and get a block on Abrams-Drain. He just had no shot. I mean, that's a 350-pound guy trying to block a 178-pounder out in space, and KAD, as they call him, makes a big play on the perimeter to force this Gators punt.
Third punt in a row for Florida. Jeremy Crawshaw out to see if he can pin Chris Abrams-Drain as the return man. Semifinalist for the Thorpe Award, for the Bednarik Award. He's had a sensational season. Fair catch at the 10-yard line. And then there's this guy, Schrader, who carries it again, the workhorse. You know, it's interesting to refer to him as a workhorse because that is a term we don't use too often.
No, and I think he has the right attitude. I think this whole football team does too. Stemming from Eli Drinkwitz, they had this saying STP, something to prove. This team is extremely hungry. We asked Coach Drinkwitz, Joe, this week, you're having a lot of success for the first time in your tenure here as head coach. How do you fight complacency at this point? He said, our kids are paranoid about losing now. They love the feeling of winning, and they're still extremely hungry.
2nd and 6 as Pete takes it off right tackle. It'll be 3rd and short from there. And we talked about the other side of it with Coach Drink of the struggles that they had to get this point. So look, when you've had the lows that we've had, you get scared. You never want to feel that again. So it's easier to lock in every week.
And I think when you win, it just solves so many problems, but you build so much confidence in the locker room as well. We talked about early in the season when they beat Kansas State, there was a lot of buy-in internally. But at this point of the season, this is a team that expects to win when they take the field.
They're down at 4. Here comes the pressure and able to get it to Northfleet for another first down. The big true freshman, two-sport athlete with the reception.
And it's Schrader at running back. He's made a lot of plays this year carrying the football, but on the safety blitz, picking up Bryce Thornton, allowing Cook here a little extra time to get rid of that football quickly. You talk about Schrader at the running back position. It's not just his ability running it between the tackles and the explosive plays, but catching the ball, pass protection. Katie had a great story earlier in the game about how hard he works, but he is talented.
Schrader bounces off the first would-be tackler, but cannot escape the second. That was sacked.
It was Derek Wingo, a linebacker, that completely blew this play up. He was coming downhill charging, and he runs into the right guard, Cameron Johnson. That's what makes the play. Kind of splits the safety and the guard, and I think there was right there, Tyreek Sapp, number 94, and it wasn't caught.
Look at that left hand of Tyreek Sapp. He released it as quickly as he could. 2nd and 13. Cook. As he felt that late pressure that time by Derek Wingo. Kirby Moore is the new play caller. Drinkwitz used to always call plays, but his first year at Mizzou, after all the success he had at Fresno State a year ago.
Yeah, it's the first time in 8 or 9 years that Drink's not calling plays. Kirby Moore, at only 33 years old, is a very bright young mind. He's the younger brother of Kellen Moore, of course, is the coordinator with the LA Chargers. He's done a nice job, I think, this year, Joe, simplifying the run game, creative with formations. He's done a good job getting Luther Burden involved week in, week out.
Well, this is a spot where you'd want Burden involved. 3rd and 13. They go to the quick game, and here is Burden, blockers in front. And he's going to be 2 yards short of that line to gain as he was wrapped up immediately that time by Bryce Thornton, a true freshman safety.
And I was just going to say, what do you do if you're Eli Drinkwitz and Kirby Moore? They're bringing the punt team on now. Play it safe. They like the way their defense is sort of settled in here these last couple of drives. I think this is the right call here for Missouri.
Riley Williams got the start tonight. With Bowers, the sophomore, 6'5", regular starting punter, but senior day switches things up a bit. Ricky Pearsall's the return man for the Gators. As Williams sends a knuckler downfield that once again takes a Mizzou bounce inside the 25 and keeps rolling all the way down to the 20.
Billy Napier came over later, got eye level with him and coached him up. They need Damian George, who's filling in for Barber at left tackle, to play better as we move throughout this game, guys.
Yes, they do, Katie. See if they can give some protection to Graham Mertz as ETN is in the backfield. Play action. That ball was batted away by J.C. Carlisle as he was looking for Pearsall.
Well, for Damian George, the Alabama transfer, Katie, you're right. He does have his hands full because he's dealing with Darius Robinson, one of the best DNs in the SEC, and Johnny Walker as well. Those guys are flipping sides with tons of athleticism and speed. We saw a missed block on the last 3rd down, the false start earlier in the game. Damian George is a huge key at left tackle for the Gators, and they need him to lock in.
2nd and 10. Mertz thrown to the outside of Pearsall, who's demanding the flag and gets it. As he was matched up with Rakestraw, and Mertz is trying to get up and then just takes a seat.
He got hit in the knee area by Christian Williams after delivering that throw. A very, very dangerous hit.
Pass interference. Defense, number 12. The ball will be placed on a small foul and includes an automatic first down.
First, we're taking a look here at the pass interference, and there's a grab and hold by Rakestraw. You see, Mertz kind of got pushed from behind by Niles Gaddy. And he just kind of had his foot planted. That's where Christian Williams fell into it. It's not a personal foul if Christian Williams is blocked into that area of the quarterback in that passing position.
First penalty on Mizzou. Tap pass Trey Wilson, and Wilson has nothing. Immediately getting up there was Rakestraw defensively, and then Hicks, the second man in to clean up that tackle.
Yeah, it's a nice job by the DBs recognizing what's happening. Remember, they got hurt on a play like this earlier on third down. So these two guys out here, they see Wilson go in motion, and they're like, we're not letting that happen again. We're using our speed. We're going to get outside, maintain our leverage, force the football back in, and get a tackle for loss. Really good discipline by Missouri's defense.
Second and 15. Mertz, plenty of time, but does he have an option? No. Had to run straight ahead, and tracking him was Josh Landry.
Gators offense now having to deal with the noise on 3rd and 14. They faced a lot of 3rd and long situations tonight. Ricky Pearsall in the slot, top of the screen. This has been a big answer for Mertz on 3rd down this season.
3rd and 14. Mertz lofts it downfield. The receiver cut off and had contact, and a flag comes in, and Mertz took another big hit. You see Jake Slaughter, starting center, coming to the aid of Graham Mertz, who was battered again.
Holding. Defense, number 13. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Well, it's Carnell one-on-one with Pearsall, who we were just talking about. He's kind of trying to wiggle on a seam route. He gets kind of tugged right on the shoulder. Here's Mertz again taking another big shot. And guess who got beat? It's Damian George at left tackle.
Johnny Walker, who put the hit on Mertz. You heard the report from Katie moments ago about Rob Sale, the offensive coordinator, and his message to Damian George. ETN on first down. He is stacked up by Chuck Hicks.
Joe, I think moving forward, if you're the offensive coordinator for Florida, Rob Sale, you got to think about ways to help out your tackle and Damian George, because right now both guys on each side are having issues with this pass rush upfield. So whether that's attaching a tight end, whether that's getting a running back to help chip to give Graham Mertz a little bit more time, that'll help him out in the passing attack. We're seeing a lot of empty sets right now from the Gators and getting guys out of the backfield. It has not been easy on Mertz.
Condensed formation on 2nd and 8. Mertz. Too high and intercepted by J.C. Carlisle. Mertz threw it high. Ball was tipped, and J.C. tracked it and hauled it. He was trying to get Boardingham, the 6'3" tight end.
Well, he had Boardingham running a deep crossing route from the right-hand side. He's forced to sort of flush to his left. He never set his feet. That ball sails on him. You very rarely see that happen. We talked about tips leading to picks. Nice job by Carlisle and his concentration coming away with a huge turnover here as the first half is winding down.
Schrader already with 80 yards, and you can tack on 3 more to his total this first half. Wingo with the tackle.
What a hit, too, by Wingo as well. We talked about the injuries that they have right now. Shamar James out. Scooby Williams got the flu. A lot of backups in there playing. Derek Wingo's a guy that normally just plays on third down. He's having a big first half.
2nd and 7. Trips to the boundary as he goes to the fly route downfield, and unable to come up with it was Luther Burden III as he was reaching around the defender, Jalen Kimber.
Jalen Kimber, he's the Georgia transfer. He's a guy that's had some struggles these last 4 games. Eli Drinkwitz, he wants pass interference, and I think he might be right, to be honest. Jalen Kimber never locates the ball. There's a lot of contact there. That should have been PI.
We'll see how fired up Coach Drink is. Mizzou is 4 of 8 on 3rd downs. Here facing a 3rd and 7. Play clock counting down as Cook tries to adjust protection. They run option to the short side of the field, but it doesn't matter with Schrader. And he keeps his footing down to the 25. A star is born at Mizzou this year, and his name is Cody Schrader. He does it again.
They're running a TJ Searcy, the true freshman. As soon as he commits, this ball's getting pitched outside. It's a nice quick call, speed option into the boundary. Put it in your best player this year on offense's hands and let him go to work.
34 yards. He has 117 in the first half after he went over 200 a week ago. The SEC's leading rusher, a former walk-on who started his career at Division II. Luther Burden III now. Couldn't turn the corner. The Dynamo running back at 5'8", 215 pounds. And now 100 rushing yards in 4 straight games. The first player at Mizzou to do that, Jesse.
It's pretty amazing the impact he's had and the inspiration he's been in this locker room as well. He's earned so much respect from his coaching staff and his teammates.
2nd and 7 as he rolls ahead. He's always going forward at the end of every run, too.
Listen, like being a running back in the zone scheme isn't necessarily easy either, because you do have to press the hole. You got to be patient, and the crease can open up anywhere. And when you see it, you put your foot in the ground, and there's just no hesitation with this guy. He goes downhill, and he's giving out punishment.
Timeout is going to be used by the Gators as Schrader has so much momentum. Facing a 3rd and 1 is Mizzou, and we return to 3rd and 1 with Brady Cook and the dynamic Cody Schrader in the backfield for Mizzou. And that was a bad snap, but Schrader takes it straight ahead for a first down. No hesitation, just hits that hole and moved the chains again.
And you get a great push up front. Bad snap doesn't matter. Javon Foster at right tackle is really able to collapse down on Chris McClellan, and that opens up the crease. And you're seeing that physicality up front in blocking, and you're seeing the physicality running the football as well.
You know, if you watch Brady Cook on that last play, when the snap was rolling on the ground, he had to go down low to get it. You be the judge on his knee here.
Oh,
when
down.
He controls the ball, is his knee down? And of course, the college rule would be then he's then down. That would be a loss of yardage for Mizzou.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at this again here in replay, that's down there. Does he have control of it?
Does he have control of the ball? And he's possessing the ball with his knee down.
After review, the ball carrier's knee was down at the 22-yard line. It'll be 4th down at that spot.
That's a huge swing. Just a huge swing. It would have been 1st and goal. So there is big Harrison Mevis, the 243-pound kicker, who's been one of the best in recent college football history. 39-yard attempt. As he puts it through. Said, who knows what kind of year it's going to be. Could be hot seat kind of season. Oh no, it's red hot kind of season for Mizzou and Coach Drink. They have been the surprise of the league. One of the best stories in the country.
Water treadmill throughout the week. He does hot yoga. He's taking care of his body. He looks fresh.
Mertz swings it to Wilson, who can't go anywhere as Chris Abrams' drain was there immediately. And listen, Florida's a good example. They got two guys in Johnson, Etienne in the backfield. That's not the case with Mizzou. He's a workhorse.
He's a feature back in an era of college football where it's always by committee because you're trying to keep guys fresh. But Schrader's the type of guy that truly does get better as the game goes on. You hear that used a lot. It's true with Schrader. Leads the country in rushing yards in the fourth quarter. Gator defense, they've got a lot of work ahead of them here in the second half.
His 440 yards in the fourth quarter. Who knows what his total will be when we get to that point today. Second and 13. Final minute of this first half. Johnson, well blocked from Montrell Johnson, who rounds the corner, and now maybe Florida thinks about defining this last 32 seconds differently.
That changes everything because it looked like they were playing just to get into halftime and regrouping, but that run by Johnson, he does a nice job here in his own play himself, seeing the cutback, making the guy miss, and getting out on the perimeter, and all of a sudden now, you've got that timeout still. You're thinking about throwing this football to try to get into field goal range.
And here is Mertz against a four-man rush. Steps up, goes underneath to Johnson again, who's already past midfield. Not about 26 seconds remain. One timeout in the back.
I think that's what Johnson really gives you, too, in this offense, is he's a weapon in the passing game. Out of the backfield, at wide receiver, and good awareness there in a 2-minute situation, catching the ball over the middle of the field. Where's the sidelines? Let me get out of bounds. Save some clock.
And a timeout is going to be used by Missouri's. Trying to maintain course against Mizzou, and the offense looking for a little something before halftime. Mertz, plenty of time. Downfield looking for Pearsall. Incomplete. 20 seconds until halftime.
You're in pretty good shape now if you're the Gators offensively because you're getting very close to Trace Mack's field goal range. Remember, he's already hit 2 54-yarders on the season, one against Charlotte, one against South Carolina. So to feel real good about it, you're probably looking at getting somewhere to the 36, 35-yard line. About another 10 yards away. And the whole field is available to you with that one timeout right now. You can attack the middle of the field.
Mertz against a three-man rush, and still they get to him. That was Jay Jernigan who beat his man to run down Graham Mertz.
Jay Jernigan is running a game up front, and it's Richie Leonard at guard is trying to deal with it. They're coming here. This is Jernigan coming outside. He's just not able to sort of ride him all the way out there. And they're going to take a look at this, Joe, to see if this was intentional grounding.
He's not outside the tackle box. There was no receiver in the area, Jesse.
I don't know if the ball crossed the line of scrimmage.
They did drop a flag back near the 40-yard line.
Intentional grounding. Offense, number 15. The ball we placed on the spot of foul. Loss of down. Third down.
That's a situation. Graham Mertz has played enough football to know you cannot take a sack in that type of situation. You're working towards field goal range here in a 2-minute deal. Nobody open. This offensive line has already been struggling up front with their pass pro. You just got to have a plan and get rid of it a little bit sooner. Tate Rodemaker at quarterback right now, moving forward and projecting what they are going to be.
Going to run it here after the penalty, and Johnson will take it ahead, makes the most of it as he spins his way to the 45-yard line. That was 3rd and 22, of course, after the intentional grounding.
Now you get a chance to clock it. Oh, no, you don't.
And we will hit halftime with a 13-7 score. Mertz 95 yards passing, a touchdown and an interception against this Mizzou defense that has an excellent defensive line and pass rush. Katie.
Yeah, Tess, I spoke with Billy Napier coming out of the locker room, and he said, look, we had 3 offensive possessions that resulted in procedural penalties. He said if we were able to clean those up, we can start getting some momentum on offense and move the football. They started with it here. He said we got to start fast, get some momentum, and get into the end zone. He said defensively, I think we're playing a really good ball game. He said there was one guy out of his gap, and the running back made his pay, but he likes what he sees on that side of the ball.
And keep in mind, it's a defense without a starting corner and a limited linebacker who plays a very big role after a week when they gave up 701 total yards to LSU just 7 days ago. Etienne will start this second half. A flag is down as Etienne goes for 9 yards. We will check on the penalty flag. Florida was penalized 5 times in the first half.
Penalty flag on the field.
Offside. Defense. Number 15 in the neutral is a sack. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Johnny Walker saying, did I line up?
Yeah. Johnny Walker getting a little bit too close for comfort. Gator band loves it, Joe. It's all about momentum.
They could gain some here early on this first drive of the second half. 1st and 5 after the penalty. Etienne, he gets loose. Here goes Trevor. Finally dragged down inside the 40.
Well, they've got their center Jake Slaughter, and he's in a battle up front, right in the middle here. He's fighting and clawing. We've got D lineman trying to spin out, but he's able to keep the block long enough to allow Etienne in that burst to get into the second level. This is what Etienne brings this running game, Joe. He's got a second gear and explosive runs, and that's a big reason why he's averaging 6 yards a carry coming into this game.
Last week, 3 rushing touchdowns, went for 99 yards against LSU. Here he just ripped off a 30-yarder. And they're going to see if he remains hot, as he is met right at the line of scrimmage by Darius Robinson, who's the reigning SEC Defensive Lineman of the Week.
Darius Robinson's a monster, Joe. I mean, he's one of those guys who looks really good getting off the bus. 6'6", 300 pounds, long arms. He's chiseled. And he's been dominant. He is a violent player. A sack in 6 straight games. He's a guy that beats people up week in, week out. A lot of draft pundits have him as the number 4, number 5 best available defensive end in next year's NFL draft.
2nd and 10. Mertz trying to extend the play and gets it complete to Trey Wilson. Trey Wilson just kept working and working, and Mertz found him.
Well, it was a double move by Wilson over the middle of the field, but it was a slow developing route. He's going to curl and go right here, but Mertz already came off of it. And then he did a nice job of once he got to the outside of getting his eyes back downfield and finding his open target. Nothing open to the right side. You see Wilson kind of come into your screen right there. But all of a sudden, it was a nice opening drive on the opening play drive of the game. And that's Damian George.
That is not good.
That is not good. Remember, they're already down their starting left tackle, Austin Barber. Now Damian George, the backup.
Damian George is typically the starting right tackle, but Austin Barber is unable to go tonight, so he moved to the left side, and now he is down.
He's walking very gingerly on the sideline now.
Cameron Waits and Hudson are now the tackles. Etienne. Another strong run by Trevor Etienne for 8.5 yards. Hicks with the tackle, and the flag is down at the 29.
They ran to the right side behind their new right tackle, Lindell Hudson. He did a good job. Wait to see what the penalty is.
Holding. Offense. Number 67. 10-yard penalty. First down.
It's Richie Leonard at left guard. He's had his hands full in this game already. We talk now about how important it is that they're able to get this run game going. That they do not want to be living in 3rd and long situations now with so many backups playing up front in the O-line against this pass rush. Can't afford those mistakes.
1st and 20 after the penalty. They fake on the motion to Wilson. Mertz cross the grain to Etienne, who gets loose. Trevor Etienne in for the score. What a play, well designed, and then Mertz finding Etienne, and it's a 37-yard touchdown for the Gators.
was just another great example that time of Mertz just keeping his eyes downfield. Hayden's over here blocking. He's fighting for his life. He's going to escape to this side. It's a linebacker that ends up committing to go tackle him, and he vacates an area over the middle of the field. You see right here when he works to his right, there goes the linebacker, but he never took his eyes off of ETN. It was originally just a check down throw. Great job on the scramble drill working to get open, and that is a huge opening drive for the Gators here in the second half.
Smack adds the extra point that gives Florida the lead. The third lead change of the game. This is exactly what the Gators needed. Get the ball, do something with it. Billy Napier said, we got to score. They did. The spark was Trevor Etienne. He brought it right in. And now the Gators have a 1-point lead over top 10 Mizzou. By Etienne, and the Gators with a 14-13 lead.
8.2 yards a carry, plenty of football to go. And remember, we talked about how he gets better as the game goes on.
Last year he had 8 carries for 17 yards against these Gators. Now he's a superstar in the SEC. As that pass is completed to Luther Burden III.
And I think this is something that they got to do more here in the second half. Kirby Moore calling plays offensively is get Luther Burden touches. Only 3 catches for 21 yards and not a lot downfield. You got to start taking your shots with him. 2nd and 2, Schrader, as he moves the pile for a first down. Kirby Moore, of course, is the guy responsible for that. Play caller in his first year at Mizzou. Kalen DeBoer, Jeff Tedford, Chris Peterson. Wow. That is the coaching influence of Kirby Moore. And his brother, too. Kellen,
and his brother.
Calling plays for the Chargers.
Cook. There you go. Nice pitch and catch to Burden, who breaks free. Luther Burden III, 1,000-yard receiver this year, did it in this game.
And this is a matchup they're going to like. They got Burden in the slot going against Jordan Castell, a very talented true freshman at safety, and he's just sort of running this corner route. He's got a lot of speed. At 5'11", 208, he's a physical guy. He's hard to bring down. He's got really strong hands that can make catches in traffic, and he's a guy they like to move around to try and find matchups like that to take advantage of. So Moore got the message. You're going to start seeing more throws going number 3's way.
Blitz right up the middle, trying to get it to Burden as he was looking for a hot. But the pressure got to him with Derek Wingo.
Just wonder how much longer can this Gator defense hold on, right? We talked about the struggles and coming off a 700-yard game they gave up against LSU last week, not playing with tremendous confidence, but they have made plays in the first half. A lot of youth, true freshmen have played 30% of the snaps this year for this defense. And you see what's happened these last 5 games in explosive plays versus what happened the first half of the season. Can they hold on?
Cook, quick pass as he meets up with Northfleet, who takes it inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal, Mizzou.
And Derek Wingo at linebacker was slow getting up after that attempted tackle as well. We already talked about the injury problems they've got. They're playing 2 backups at linebacker in this game. So now injury problems on the offensive line and at the linebacker level starting to show itself here for the Gators.
4th time that they've been in Florida territory. They've scored the last 3. Trying to retake the lead. Schrader made the first man miss inside the 5, and driving to the 1 is Cody Schrader.
That's tremendous feat because there were 2 linebackers that had a shot at him behind the line of scrimmage. Wingo was one of them, and then Mitchell was the second. He made both guys miss.
That jump cut, something special. And now looking for the end zone. And they're going to mark him just short.
That was a huge play by Cam Jackson, a 360-pound transfer from Memphis. He wins up front, sheds a block, and Schrader tries. He's normally used to pushing the pile, but that's a very big human being to move backwards. Great play by Jackson.
I'll tell you, if you look at where the ball was positioned in his arm when he was met, that is very close to having crossed the goal line on that play. 3rd and goal. Schrader offset of Brady Cook. Cook going to take it himself, and Cook, that second surge, yes! Touchdown, Mizzou! Schrader's limping off at the end of that drive.
Well, he ran into two linebackers. Watch this. Watch Schrader go up ahead. There's Wingo and there's Mitchell. He kind of splits right in between them. Gave a little bit of space for Cook to push forward, but I think that's probably the biggest hit Schrader's taken in this game so far, and it didn't involve the football.
Compared to a Missouri program that's playing for everything.
Well, the Gators are also playing for some stuff, too. They want to go to a bowl game. They need one more win to become bowl eligible, and they need that opportunity considering how young they are.
Commit, and you can cash right away. And they've been doing they just got another big recruit this past week. I mean, they are crushing it in recruiting, so Mizzou's not going away anytime soon. Marshall on the return. And good coverage from Mizzou. What's at all this year across the board? That is the most outstanding player in college football. Jaden Daniels is the most outstanding college football player this year. Here is Hansen. And Hansen getting free. And look at the redshirt freshman tight end. Big chunk play for the Gators. Well designed.
I like in this offense how they are able to freeze linebackers with play fakes, and it allows people to get to the perimeter. This little play fake right here just slows those inside linebackers down, and it allows Hayden to get to the outside. And it's another explosive play in the passing game.
38 yards from Hayden Hansen. Etienne, patient, waiting for the hole, keeping that leg drive as he goes inside the 40. I just want to get back to that conversation with Jaden Daniels.
I agree with you, Joe, because what Jaden Daniels is doing this year, it reminds me a lot of when Tim Tebow won the Heisman in 2007. They also lost 3 games during the regular season, but every week, even in losses, the guy was unstoppable, and that's been the case with Jaden Daniels all year. You look at their games against FSU, Ole Miss, Alabama, he's off the charts every single week.
Now, this Florida staff could not say enough about Jaden Daniels. They got to say something last year where he had a breakout game, and then last week it was just unbelievable what he did with that LSU offense. 2nd and 5, end around. Ricky Pearsall. Here goes Ricky, and the Gators. What a response! Ricky Pearsall, touchdown! A 39-yard run from Ricky Pearsall.
Really nice play design by offensive coordinator Rob Sale that time, taking advantage of the fast flow of Missouri's defense, but also the over pursuit. We saw them get Trey Wilson going early with some jets in the running game at the receiver position, but now Ricky Pearsall, the Arizona State transfer, who has just done so much for this offense this season. The verses just don't get better than that.
That is the 5th play tonight that Florida has had over 30 yards. And they responded quickly. Just a minute 37. And now Trey Smack on to break the tie. As the Gators have come out focused and fiery. And Ricky Pearsall, the guy who had the talk on Monday morning to keep your head up, Gators.
Yeah, Hayden Hansen in tight end gets a key block coming around this side here on Carnell, but it's the over pursuit by the DBs of Missouri on the outside. They all get outside way too much. They lose the leverage inside. That opens the crease for Ricky Pearsall, who, Katie, this guy has just had a massive season this year for this outfit.
Right hand inside the pylon, Jesse.
A phenomenal effort. Talking about getting to that bowl game, I know a lot of people watching the Florida State game right now and seeing the injury to Jordan Travis, but the Gators aren't thinking about waiting till next week to get that opportunity. They're trying to handle business tonight. All right, Brady Cook, you're up.
Well, we've had 5 lead changes, Jess, so would you like 6? Let's see what Brady Cook can do. Here's Burden the third. As he makes a cut and goes right around Jaden Hill.
That's a really good decision by Cook because they're faking the screen to Burden early, trying to catch the Gators napping. Take a shot downfield, it's not open, quickly get it out to Burden and let him go to work in space. You're seeing what he can do.
11 yards for Luther Burden III, one of the top talents in the country. Schrader with 136 yards rushing as he looks to add to that total. Tackled by Miele. 2nd and 9. Cook, plenty of time, shot downfield, coverage everywhere, and no receiver to be seen.
I think Brady Cook missed an opportunity here. He had a chance at a corner route. There's some collision right here. You're going to see two defenders in the secondary collide. It's Kimber and Jaden Hill. He was trying to force that football. It's almost like he predetermined he was going to throw the post. That was triple covered. If he had just kind of gone through the read, I think the Tigers would have had a big completion.
3rd down and 9. Cook, wide open, and Burden again. And fighting for extra yardage as Luther Burden III brings it inside the 20-yard line.
This is really impressive by Burden because he's riding a deep crossing pattern, and watch how he peeks to see where the safety is right here really quick. Find out when that hit's coming. He almost looked twice. The ball was in the air so long.
Off of the passer. Defense, number 11, contact to the head area. This penalty won't be enforced. After this to the goal, automatic first down.
We're calling that on Kelby Collins, the true freshman for Florida. Just kind of swats and grabs the face mask. Just add insult to injury after the huge play. I mean, that ball was in the air for a long time, Joe. Burton had a chance to peek twice to find out where the safety was still located, and you saw his ability after the catch.
Schrader. Flag is down as he is run down and pushed out at the 2.
Yeah, I think they're going to get left tackle Javon Foster for holding on that play.
Foster, who was named to numerous midseason All-American awards.
Offense, number 76. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, he's working against Princely Uman Mielen. That was a pretty easy call. Joe, right now, these offenses are up and down the field. It's a cat and mouse game here. It's Rob Sale on offense for Florida. You just saw Kirby Moore right there for Missouri. It seems like everything they're dialing up is working. This was a defensive struggle in the first half, and all of a sudden, the scoreboard is lighting up.
After the penalty, it's 1st and goal from the 17. Schrader. He is taken down at 13 by Tyreek Sapp. Quick to the line is Mizzou. 2nd and goal for Cook. To the end zone. Touchdown. Brett Norfleet. And another flag is down. This back at the 12.
I don't think they got lined up in time. They had an unbalanced formation trying to catch the Gators napping, and it worked. They had their left tackle, Javon Foster, split out.
Ineligible player downfield. Offense, number 87. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
And man on the line issue.
Yeah, the problem is Brett Norfleet is playing tackle, but he's covered up outside. And because of that, he's not able to get downfield and run a route. You'll see Norfleet's right here. They're sneaking him in at left tackle, but this man right here is covering him up. He's got to be off the line of scrimmage. So it's an illegal play and a huge blow to Missouri offensively.
If that number 2 receiver is simply one step back, it's a legal play. 2nd and goal. Cook backed all the way up to the 30-yard line. Directing traffic in the air. Diving effort! Luther Burden III kept tracking it and dance, my friend. That's a TD. Kirby saying, I got to see that. Yeah, your receiver did it, coach.
This is an unbelievable job. The concentration drill by Burden. This ball gets tipped by Jaden Hill. Burden never quit on it.
Is a complete pass for a touchdown.
Oh, did the ball come loose there at the end?
Wow.
Did the ball come loose and hit the turf? This is the progressive pylon cam look.
I think this is going to be a pretty good look at it. It was a tremendous effort to stay with that and get fully stretched out. The question is, did he have complete and continuous control when the ball hit the ground? I think that first angle we saw, I think, was the best angle for the referees to take a look at. Burden was running a drag route. Cook kept his vision downfield. Hill tipped it. I just don't know if he had complete control of it through. This is the best angle right here. Ball hasn't hit the ground just yet, but then there's a little wiggle right there and it comes out.
There is no doubt about it.
Oh my gosh.
After review, the ruling is incomplete pass. The receiver failed to maintain control of the ball while contacting the ground. It'll be third down at the 18-yard line.
Boy, that Pride of the Sunshine Band for Florida was pumping their fist on this call.
Yeah. It's a tremendous effort once again, but deal now is it's third and long, and can the Gators pass rush, which, you know, it has not been great throughout the course of the year. We've got some true freshmen out there. Kelby Collins playing one end. Uman Mielen, who's been their most consistent and dominant pass rusher, is working against Javon Foster, Missouri's best offensive lineman. Can someone step up here and get pressure on Cook?
That was big Caleb Banks.
Offside. Defense, number 88, contact in neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, third down.
Just all about composure, right, Joe? Pre-snap penalties. Penalties after the snap are the ones that drive Billy Napier and coaches everywhere crazy.
Third and goal, Cook. He's going to run it himself inside the 10 and is wrestled down at the 7 by Sapp. And Cersei in as well.
That's a win, again, for the Gators. And I know they're giving up field goals here, but the way the offenses are going up and down the field, Joe, at this point, it's like a tennis match. It feels like who can break the other person's serve. A couple things just didn't go Missouri's way on that last drive, particularly late. But the Gators giving up a field goal at this point is something they'll gladly take.
Harrison Mevis is known for his big leg, but it's been all short shots tonight as he looks with this 24-yard attempt to give Missouri the lead back. And he does just that. The 6th lead change of the game.
Beating North Carolina, that's impressive. They've looked real good here in recent weeks.
23-21. Do some rock climbing in the middle of the game. Mertz, and he throws it behind or beyond Trey Wilson.
You know, and again, it's a throw that Graham Mertz normally makes in his sleep. I was going to say part of what was so impressive to me about completing 73% of his passes was it's not just downfield or when he's on the move. He never takes his foot off the gas when it's the easy gimme throws that a lot of quarterbacks relax on. I think he did a little bit right there. They've done a nice job with some of these play fakes, freezing linebackers on the inside to get guys to the perimeter. That's one Mertz would love to have back.
Johnson straight ahead, and Johnson gets it out to the 30-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Remember, on this third down now, the Gators are down to their 3rd left tackle. They've got to be able to hold up. This is a big test here for the Gators, dealing with this crowd noise and this pass rush.
Third and 5. Mertz steps up. He's going to try to run for the first down. Wow! Puts the shoulders down twice, split defenders, and it is a first down, Gators.
I don't know how he just broke tackle simultaneously from Chuck Hicks and Enos Rakestraw, but that was unbelievable.
You want to play with desire? That is Chuck Hicks, who took the hit from a quarterback still down.
We're talking about Cody Schrader giving out the punishment. Graham Mertz?
I mean, Graham Mertz goes Oklahoma drill here as an SEC quarterback with the game on the line the second half.
Well, I give him credit because he knew he wasn't at the sticks. Sliding wasn't going to get it done, but I mean, I did not have that on my bingo card, and now you've got an injured linebacker, Chuck Hicks.
So that 11-yard bruising run by Mertz earns the first down. Montrell Johnson as he twists his way for 3 yards.
And they'd love to be able to do this. They'd love to be able to, because, oh, you see Grant Mertz, he's pointing to himself. I think he must have got maybe banged up a little bit on that last run. And in comes Max Brown, the backup quarterback. Oh, they're telling Mertz just to go down and take a look at him. Wow. I mean, you go back and look at that run. I mean, the fact that he broke those tackles was incredible, and you just wonder if the adrenaline just kept pumping through. I mean, he gets hit simultaneously by 2 defenders.
And mosquito off the windshield on it.
And just after handing that football off, so much pain, grabbing that left shoulder area.
So 2nd down and 8, and Max Brown in at quarterback. Play action for Brown. And Brown will complete his first pass of the night to Pearsall, but a big hit from Trevez Johnson.
How about the confidence by offensive coordinator Rob Sale? Everyone expecting them to just hand the football off. It's his first snap here in the game on the road. They go play action, throw it downfield to Pearsall, who takes a massive shot by Trevez Johnson, the Gator transfer. They get reunited.
How about the intensity of this game? 31, and Montrell Johnson is getting loose. So starting quarterback Graham Mertz is out of the game, and the Gators are on the go.
Well, they get tremendous movement up front. It's Mazzucca and it's Hudson over here at guard and tackle, and they're moving the D tackle and creating a big lane for Johnson to run up into. More critical than ever at this point of the game. With the backup quarterback game, they're able to take some of that pressure off of them. You do that by establishing the ground game.
And 2 backup tackles playing out of position. Final minute of what's been a wild 3rd quarter. Johnson shakes the first would-be tackler and goes ahead. Katie.
Yeah, Tess, Graham Mertz bypassed Florida's locker room. He was taken to Mizzou's football facility. I'm told he's going back to get x-rays now.
They were bracing that left arm as he lowered the shoulders against Chuck Hicks and Rakestraw to pick up a critical first down. And the final seconds are ticking down in this 3rd quarter. Max Brown in for an injured starting quarterback, Graham Mertz, with 2 tackles. And now Montrell Johnson in a wildcat on 2nd and 7. 2 tackles who were nowhere near the starting lineup prior.
False start. Offense. Number 66. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
It's a little flinch there by Jake Slaughter at center. Another penalty for this offensive line. You know, during that quarter change, Joe, the coaching staff would have been telling Max Brown, hey, we're in field goal range with an opportunity to retake the lead. You cannot take a sack, and you cannot force the football into coverage. Try to be a hero. If it's not there, you throw it away. You put us in a position to win this game.
Now a timeout is going to be used by Billy Napier. 2nd and 12 off the timeout. Here's Brown. Able to get away. Now he's going to try to run it and slides down. And the flag does come in as you saw the Mizzou defender who came forward and made just a little bit of contact with Max Brown.
It was Johnny Walker. It came in late. But Max Brown was sliding. I love the decision by Max Brown here. Decisive. It wasn't open. I'm just going to go get what I can get.
After the play, personal foul, late hit, defense number 15 with 20. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And Max Brown's chin strap.
Is under further review.
ended up on his nose.
Well, they're calling it targeting, so they're now looking for forcible contact to the head or neck area of a defenseless opponent. No doubt Max Brown is defenseless when he's giving himself up, going to the ground. And I do think you're right, Joe. Looking at 15, Johnny Walker coming in, whether it's a forearm or
it doesn't matter,
or something else, it doesn't matter. But if it did make contact there to that head or neck injury or area.
Watch the right forearm. You see that right forearm?
That's the best angle right there.
That's all it takes is that right forearm of Johnny Walker to the head or neck area.
And of course, he would have to miss the rest of this football game, and he would have to miss the first half of their next one against Arkansas. But no Johnny Walker on the field in the fourth quarter helps out a Gator offensive line that is down a couple tackles right now in their offensive line.
After review, there is no foul for targeting. Number 15 can remain in the game. However, the foul for the late hit will be enforced. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
So they're going to say it's simply a late hit, not targeting. Johnson. He is wrapped up and tackled for a loss by Carlines.
It was Johnny Walker that made the play. The guy that was able to stay in the game. He gets penetration. 15, shoots into the backfield and forces Johnson to bounce it to the outside. That's where Carlines was able to make the tackle.
No targeting. They reversed it. So Walker stays in and makes a difference there. And now it's 2nd and 13. Mizzou's got it. Christian Williams with the fumble recovery. Bad exchange between the backup quarterback and the running back, and Christian Williams gets it.
Disaster scenario for the Gators. It hits his right elbow. He's got to look that football into the belly of the running back, and the Oregon transfer, Christian Williams, Johnny on the spot, coming up with a massive play. The biggest of the game so far for Missouri.
Just when Florida was about to retake the lead, Schrader, and we talked about what he does in the fourth quarters of games. This is the moment. The turnover when Florida was just about to have an opportunity to jump back out in front.
And we were talking about everything just seemed to be going Gators' way. All of a sudden, Missouri making some luck of their own. They had the targeting call reversed. Johnny Walker makes a play, and they get the fumble.
Play action. Cook. Going to go down to Weiss, and Theo Weiss, he is a speedster who gets free. Down the sideline he goes. M-I-Z. 77 spectacular yards from Theo Weiss. And in 2 plays,
Theo Weiss is going to be running here. Jordan Castell kind of gets put in no man's land here. He's covering him in the flat. He's got to stay with him because the pursuit's coming back this way to get Brady Cook, but he falls off of it. That leaves Weiss wide open. It's a bad tackling effort by the Gators in the back end. And what a turnaround for MIZ.
His balance along the sideline was amazing. He was leaning to the outside and somehow stayed in. As Mevis adds the extra point, possibly going to go up by 1 point, go up by 5 points, to all of a sudden in a 50-second swing, they're down by 9, the fumble exchange, and then the Weiss 77-yard touchdown, Katie.
Yeah, Tess, Graham Mertz, as you mentioned, has returned to the sideline, rejoined his teammates. He's got a blue overcoat on right now, but that left arm is currently in a sling. They x-rayed him. As you guys saw, he was pointing to his collarbone when he's on the field. He has been, unfortunately, ruled out for the rest of the game, as you guys can imagine.
It's a tough break. I broke my clavicle my sophomore year at Florida. It takes a couple months to heal. You know, good news for Graham Mertz. It's not his throwing shoulder, and he'll be back. You certainly feel for him. He's had such a special season for these Gators, and now it's up to Max Brown, down 9 with an entire quarter to play, to bring his team back.
Etienne has to reverse course and gains 2.5 yards. Let's go back and look at the hit that knocked him out of the game, because this was one of the best efforts of the night.
It was an incredible play on a third down where he knew he wasn't going to get it sliding. He just split 2 tacklers, but in the process, he paid a massive price for it. A great effort. This is a guy that came in from Wisconsin in the offseason, developed chemistry with his teammates, established himself in a leadership position. People were responding to him. Unfortunately, now it seems like the season is over.
2nd and 8. Here's Brown. And Brown is sacked. He is taken down by Darius Robinson, who offensive coordinator for the Gators, Rob Sale, calls simply the best defensive end in the league.
Well, 2 guys missed. Cameron Waits misses here, and then Trevor Etienne misses himself. He completely whiffs on the pass pro. That's as easy a sack as Darius Robinson is going to get.
Cameron Waits was the offensive lineman he ran around, who's now playing at left tackle. He was in at right tackle. 3rd and 16. Here's Brown. And 3rd and 16. Going to try to run and just pick up some yardage, and a good effort to make it out to the 31-yard line.
He's out there competing. I got to say, it already looks like he's a bit more athletic as a runner than Graham Mertz is. And you're in a situation, if you're the Gators now, down 9, about 11 and a half minutes left to go. 4th down. We've seen Billy Napier go for it on 4th down in his own end. It hasn't worked out against Arkansas and against Georgia. You wonder here, Joe, is this too early to be doing this?
Over 11 minutes to play. They're 40%, but that's with Graham Mertz at quarterback. This is the redshirt freshman, seldom used Max Brown. 4th and 4 for the Gators, trailing by 9. Brown, and he gets it. Khalil Jackson on the in cut, and Max Brown converts the 4th down.
Khalil Jackson, the big body slant, 6'3", 210 pounds, doing his best Willie Jackson impersonation, his father. And how about that throw by Brown, putting it right on his face mask?
Now Brown to pass again downfield. Great effort! Jackson goes up and brings it down. And now a little confidence bubbling up in Max Brown.
2 plays back to back. There's a double move by Jackson, who just came up with a big slant catch on 4. That's a hitch and go, locating the football, using that frame, boxing out the defender. This is crazy.
And that's Chris Abrams-Drain, one of the best corners in the SEC. Etienne is stacked up after a gain of 1.5 yards.
Man,
this game has been wild. This second half has been wild.
Just the poise of Max Brown right now here in the 4th quarter, making big plays. He's getting some help. Those were not easy catches. And back-to-back plays by Khalil Jackson. All of a sudden, the Gators now back in Missouri territory. They are not going away.
Khalil Jackson, a legacy player. His father, Will Jackson. His uncle Terry, his grandfather, an all-time legend, Willie Jackson Sr. for the Gators. 2nd and 9. Brown's going to keep, turns the corner, and look at Max Brown showing the legs for a 1st down.
This is what I was talking about, Joe. I think the running game playbook opens up a little bit more now with his athleticism. You can run these zone reads. Johnny Walker gets caught peeking inside. The linebacker does as well, and at 6'2", 200 pounds. Max Brown using his legs to get to the outside.
Graham Mertz looking on, left the game injured. Going to keep it again. And this time, not that much, just 2.5 yards as Newsom was waiting.
Well, this is an area where the Gators have to be able to run the football, right? The best red zone offenses are the ones that can run down here when the defense knows you're going to do it. The windows constrict. They're much smaller in this area of the field. So, you know, this is a Gator offense, by the way. We've been talking about Cody Schrader all night. The Gators have been averaging 7 yards a carry themselves. They've had success running the football, and this is an area of the field where they really need it.
2nd and 8. Etienne, he's got a big opening, and it's going to be 1st and goal, Florida.
thought Chuck Hicks at linebacker got caught peeking inside. He wasn't staying in his gap. Number 30 just kind of gets caught inside. And ETN, he's got that burst, man. If you give this guy a crease and he's able to get north, watch out.
Micah Mizzou, the right guard, did a nice job of creating that hole as well. ETN's going to walk right in with their backup quarterback, with a reshuffled offensive line with backup tackles. Florida is fighting to the end.
Dalen Carnell at safety completely lost track of where this football was. I'm not sure if he thought Max Brown was going to keep it here in the zone read. Carnell chases him this way. Etienne basically just runs the ball right by his face. Watch the safety over top. And Etienne able to walk in. What an impressive answer and drive led by Max Brown, going for it on fourth down, deep in his own end. Khalil Jackson, some huge catches. This game is incredible.
Smack with the PAT. She gets A's on our crew.
I think she was telling us this week that
you can say
not
plus
true.
on the crew every
Yeah, she does. She does an amazing job.
Maybe not so much here at Mizzou. College football playoff rankings are brought to you by Goodyear, Jesse.
Yeah, and Georgia right now certainly looks like the best team in the country. Either Ohio State or Michigan, one of them is going to drop after next week. Even without the Jordan Travis injury, if Washington's able to hold on and beat Oregon State, I'm curious to see what the committee does on Tuesday and whether they'll move them up in front of Florida State. But there's still so much chaos on the horizon, Joe. When you look to conference championship matchups, this season's still far, far from over.
Here's Luther Burden III as they give him the tap pass out to the 29-yard line.
Jordan Castell, that is a very good tackle out in the open field against one of the best players in the country. Castell is a guy that they're going to build this defense around. Leads their defense in tackles. He's been phenomenal in coverage as a true freshman.
Brady Cook on 2nd and 5 is going to take a deep shot, and it's overthrown as Burden was the intended target.
Yeah, and I think Luther Burden just quit on this route. It looks like he was going to run by a true freshman safety in Bryce Thornton, and he just kind of, I don't know if he wasn't expecting the ball to come his way. Brady Cook saw that matchup. He thought, man, I've got an All-American against a true freshman safety. I'm taking it.
You have true freshmen everywhere in that defensive backfield for Florida. And Devin Moore, who's a sophomore, is out injured. He's a starting cornerback. They're dealing with injuries, dealing with young players, but they're right in this one. 3rd down and 5. Cook. And gets the first down and quickly to Cooper.
Yeah, Mookie Cooper is an Ohio State transfer, 5'9", so shifty, and I think does a really nice job for them offensively in the option game. In that kind of situation, 3rd and 5, 3rd and medium to work in space. Him and Brady Cook have been repping that throw time and time again, all season, all off season. It's paid dividends for this offense throughout the year.
Coach Drink watching his offense operate here with a 2-point lead. Schrader. So patient in that hole and then skirts ahead for a few more extra yards to 39.
This is a time, Joe, about 6:40 to go, up 2. You'd love to be able to just turn it around and give it to the SEC's leading rusher and let him ice this game and win it for you, right? We're used to seeing him week in, week out in the fourth quarter where defense is down. Just how much left does Florida's front 7 have in the tank? Can they handle Schrader the rest of this game?
Has 148 yards to this point. Big Cam Jackson in that front. Can they get those stops? Yes, he can. Big Cam at 360 pounds just said welcome to the wall.
Man, and he just disposed of Armand Membu at right tackle. He tried to block him head up. He just sheds him. Look out here. Nope.
Oh, that's nasty. I mean, that's all kinds of nasty.
That's crazy that a guy that's 360 pounds can move that quickly.
3rd down and 7. Look at how even the total yards are. Game that's been played that way all night long. Here's Cook on 3rd and 7. Pressure up the middle. Tries to extend the play. Trying to turn the corner, and Princely Uman Mielen tracks him.
That was tremendous speed by Miel. We talked about his athleticism early. He's going to be starting on the left side of the formation. He's going to stunt inside and then chase a very athletic quarterback and Brady Cook to the sideline. This is phenomenal. At this point right here, I thought Cook was going to go get this first down. But how about the speed? He's been the most consistent defensive end. Austin Armstrong, the 30-year-old defensive coordinator, is like, come on this way, he's over here.
Defense gave up 700 yards last week.
That was a lot.
And they are playing spirited ball right now. Riley Williams on to punt. Pearsall's the return man. They're going to scatter this, and it's going to go sideways, and Florida's going to be set up well with 4:44 to play with the ball.
2 down, 4:44 to go with 2 timeouts.
He just gave that high-five slap to Etienne. Said, all right, let's go. Let's do this thing. Here is Etienne. As Trevor with another good run of 11 yards.
Here's the amazing thing. Cody Schrader's had a monster day for Missouri. The Gators actually have more rushing yards on the night than Missouri. They've eclipsed 200 yards running the football. Look at that. You never would have thought with Schrader having the day he's having, he's the SEC's leading rusher, but it's been Johnson, it's been Etienne, and now Max Brown doing his work as well here in the fourth quarter on the ground.
Graham Mertz looks on. Starting quarterback injured and out, but Max Brown has led things. Etienne again as he crosses midfield. And can they get themselves into field goal range for Trey Smack?
And it's a testament to this beat-up Gator offensive line as well, right? Third-string left tackle and third-string right tackle and backup center in the game, playing against a very physical front from Missouri, but these guys are getting pushed here in the second half when they need it the most.
The starting left tackle didn't start tonight. Damian George moved over from the starting right tackle to left tackle. He left injured. So they're piecing it together on the offensive line. They got the backup quarterback, and here they are trying to win the game against the number 9 team in the country. Etienne spins for a little extra yardage. It'll be third and about 3.
I think Max Brown's running ability is affecting Missouri's defense as well because they have to honor him. On these zone read type plays, they've got to make sure they've got someone out on the perimeter in case he decides to keep it. So it's changing the way Missouri now is having to try and defend this running game.
Third and 3. The Zoo is roaring for a defensive stop. Brown's going to pull it. Brown's going to turn the corner, and Max Brown is striding inside the 20. How about this young man?
Darius Robinson crashes down taking the running back, but there's nobody replacing him. Hicks at linebacker. Everybody goes inside here. There's no one on the outside for Brown. It's an added element this offense now has for number 17. And I'll tell you, I don't know what the future is for the Gators offense next year and beyond. But if this is an audition for Max Brown right now, this fourth quarter, it's looking pretty good.
A 27-yard run on a critical third down, and they're in field goal range. Under 2 minutes to play, looking for the big upset on the road. Etienne, nothing there, stacked up before he could get back to the line of scrimmage.
If you're Missouri, I think you got to start calling timeouts now.
And they do.
Yeah.
They take their first timeout.
At this moment of the game,
they are trying to become bowl eligible with an upset win over top 10 Mizzou on the road. Etienne tackled right at the line of scrimmage.
Missouri going to call another timeout, anticipating a 2-minute situation if the Gators are able to kick a field goal here and take the lead. For keeping this team motivated with so much youth in this hostile environment against the top 10 opponent, and they are showing out.
They just line things up for the kicker, Trey Smack, and now a timeout is going to be used by Florida. They want to make sure that everything is the way it should be. As you see Billy Napier talking to his backup quarterback. You don't want penalties. You want to play smart. ETN stretching to get that handoff. Remember, there was an exchange that went for a turnover earlier, and you saw Max Brown having to stretch out and barely got the ball to him.
He just didn't get to the point. He was turning around like that was going to be an inside handoff here, and the mesh point just wasn't right. ETN's expecting that to be outside. They're very lucky that they were able to execute that, and then ETN going outside there. That's a situation, if you're ETN too, you'd want to get down inbounds and keep the clock running.
So here's Trey Smack. He's 14 of 16 on the year, a 35-yarder to take the lead for the upset-seeking Florida Gators against number 9 Mizzou. 35-yard attempt and put it through for the Gators.
Pressure kick. Remember a couple weeks ago against Arkansas, we saw him miss a 44-yarder as time expired late before that game went to OT. Billy Napier. He likes what he sees. Graham Mertz likes what he sees, but there is work to be done. 1 minute and 36 seconds left to go. Brady Cook's got a timeout still in his back pocket, and they've got a legendary kicker in Harrison Mevis.
Timeout remains for Mizzou. Will he get his chance to win the game on this night? Cook against a 4-man rush. Going to check down underneath to Schrader, who's wrapped up immediately by Derek Wingo.
They got to go fast. They have one timeout. They don't want to use it here, though. So I don't know if that completion was worth the time off the clock.
Under 1:20 to play. Cook on 2nd and 8. That is defended and batted away.
Really nice play there by Manny Nunnery, the transfer from Houston. Now, to get into Mevis's range, they've got to get to the Gator 43-yard line. They've got about 32 yards they need to get in about 1 minute and 16 seconds.
3rd down and 8. The big leg Mevis needs his chance. Brady Cook has work to do to deliver that opportunity. With time, and he gets it complete to the 40-yard line to Miller.
All right, clock's going to stop momentarily here, under 2 minutes as they reset the chains. They've got to get lined up. Missouri has got to go.
First down coming up on 1 minute to play in the game. 1 timeout remains, and a flag comes in pre-snap because there was movement.
False start. Offense. Number 79. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Calling the right tackle, Armand Membu, for a little flinch. Just going to back up Missouri here. Look, Eli wants his guys going offensively.
First and 15. After the penalty, here's Schrader out of the backfield, trying to get out of bounds, and he does. But to your point now, what's being accomplished?
Yeah, the Gator defense here in this situation, they're playing back, they're playing big zone coverages, and they want to keep the football in front of them. They want to rally to it and make tackles in the field of play. This is an area for Luther Bird, number 3 in the slot. This is where he goes to work against zone coverage in the middle of the field.
50 seconds to go for Mizzou. Desperately trying to get into field goal range for Mevis. Cook. Up and incomplete as Theo Weiss was battling with Kimber.
Wow, one-on-one play. Theo Weiss, he's their best deep threat. He's also their biggest and tallest receiver, but Jalen Kimber on the outside goes up with them clean. It was tipped, and then it looked like Kimber might get the pick. It looked like Theo Weiss might still get the catch. It falls down on the ground. 3rd now and 17.
Cook on 3rd and long. Gonna take a shot, and it's incomplete. It was intended for Cooper. And we're going to have a 4th down to determine it.
Wow, Jason Marshall does a great job in coverage with Cooper down the field. 4th and 17 now, expecting big zone defensively for the Gators. And up front, can they get home with 4 or less in the pass rush?
4th and 17. Anxious faces here at Mizzou. Will we have a situation here where the Gators, in all their efforts, comes through defensively after a stretch of football where they have struggled so much? Coming into this, over their last 4 games, this Gators defense allowed 173 points. This will decide it. It'll be a top 10 tumble if he doesn't get it. 4th down. Gotta have it, and he gets it! Luther Burden III, and not only that, but they're in range to win it.
Luther Burden just ran straight down the field. Nobody for Florida covered him, and he made a huge catch.
The big leg is now in range, but they want more. 21 seconds remain. Brady Cook gets the 4th down completion to Luther Burden III.
We talked about this being the area that he goes to work in the middle of the field. He didn't have to work very hard, though. He just basically kind of jogged at 3/4 speed. He's over on your right-hand side. He just finds some grass and kind of levels down. Brady Cook finds him, puts it right on his face mask.
No timeouts for Mizzou.
And they're officially right now in Mevis's field goal range.
Remember, he hit a 61-yarder to beat K-State. Now they're at the 40. That would be a 58-yarder. Cook trying to shorten that distance, and the clock will stop with the completion to Miller. They can clock it here, put themselves in position to win it. And they do, with the ball on the 29-yard line, well in range of the sensational Harrison Mevis. The thicker kicker will get the drama ending he wants.
You know, it's amazing, Joe, when you think about situational football, and you think back to that last drive by the Florida Gators. If Trevor Etienne does not run out of bounds on 3rd down and goes down in the field of play, Missouri is forced to use their last timeout. And how would that impact the situation?
Completion to Cooper again. Brady Cook really heated up here late, and now 8 seconds remain.
So impressed with Brady Cook's poise here in this 2-minute situation. Not just the 4th down throw, but these throws afterwards as well.
Luke Bauer, the holder, slaps 5. Brett LeBlanc, the snapper, lines it up. And Harrison Mevis, the all-time leading scorer in Mizzou history on senior night, tries to cap it. And a timeout will be used by Billy Napier.
For a very makeable game-winning field goal. Very quietly, Brady Cook has had one of the best seasons this year at the quarterback position. He's been massive here late.
30-yard attempt by Mevis. And Mevis drills it. And did he just chomp his way off the field? 33-31. Missouri retakes the lead. A Florida team that thought they were in position to get win number 6 and earn a bowl now is in position where it's going to be razzle-dazzle desperation. A magical season for Mizzou. And Max Brown needs a whole lot of magic here. And they don't get that initial one completed, and zeros are across the board. And Brady Cook and Schrader and that offense, they got the thicker kicker in position, and the fireworks are going off on senior night. Mizzou has win number 9.
We proved a belief in each other. We proved our quarterback's a stud. We proved throw the ball to Luther Burden. 1 second left.
We're going from players on the field and a coach's interview to putting a second back on the clock. SEC referee Scott Walker
Please place 1 second on the game clock.
has said, you know, this one's been so good, I want another second. This one's been so wild that I want one more second of it.
Khalil Jackson put it on the ground, and it looks like there was 1 second left, so you get to run a last play one more time. See, Kirby's gone.
Yeah, coaching staff's like, they're in the elevator thinking that you're already partying on the field. They don't realize there's a second left.
He's got Shakespeare pizza on the way.
Oh. Made for a lot of drama. This time they do complete it, and there is the lateral to Ricky Pearsall, and that will officially end it on senior day at Mizzou.